Hello, my name is Meredith Four, and I'm the captain of the Stevens sailing team. My teammates and I have decided to quiz the general population of Stevens to see what they know about the America's Cup and its history at Stevens. Here's what we got. What's your name?
Max Cole.
Do you know why we have a coffee shop called America's Cup?
We have a coffee shop called America's Cup because we are in America right now, so it makes sense that we have a coffee shop called America's Cup.
Not quite. What's your name?
David,
Do you know why we have a coffee shop called America's Cup on campus?
because of the boat called America.
Very good. Why do we have a race called the America's Cup?
Not exactly sure.
Do you know what kind of boat the America was?
Sailboat.
Partial credit. Do you know what significance the America's Cup has to Stevens?
Wasn't it owned by one of the Stevens family members?
Very good. What's your name?
Hannah?
Do you know why we have a coffee shop called the America's Cup on campus?
No? I don't know. Because America's first cup of coffee was made there.
Not quite. What's your name?
Chris.
Do you know why we have a coffee shop called America's Cup on campus?
Wasn't it like a yacht club or something? Somebody had a yacht club, so they named it after that or something? The ship?
What's your name?
Daniel,
Do you know why we have a coffee shop called America's Cup on campus?
I think so. I think I know. It's like somewhere around the library, I think.
Do you know why it's called the America's Cup?
Nah.
What are your names?
I'm Billy.
I'm Julia.
Do you know why we have a coffee shop called the America's Cup on campus?
Oh, I should know it. It has to do with. Oh, I don't.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Any guess?
I know it has to do with some historical thing, but I don't know why.
It does have to do with some historical thing. What are your names?
Katie.
Nicole.
Jen.
Do you know why we have a coffee shop called America's Cup on campus?
No.
What's your name?
Christian,
Do you know why we have a coffee shop called America's Cup on campus?
because this is America?
Not
That's a
quite.
good question.
It is a good
Never thought of
question. What's your name?
Christian.
Do you know why we have a coffee shop called America's Cup on campus?
Yes, I do.
What is that reason?
Because we need to be awake all the time. I don't know.
Not quite. Thank you. What's your name?
I'm Reed Oberlander.
Do you know why we have a coffee shop called America's Cup on campus?
I do.
Would you like to tell us why?
Why do I know that?
What's the reason?
Oh, why do we have We have it because the Stevens family helped with constructing the first America's Cup. Yes? The America, which raised and won the America's Cup.
Very
And
good.
For the first time in like 90 years, America's Cup is having races in New York City on May 7th and 8th.
Very good. Do you know what kind of yacht the America was?
The America? Oh, the original America or like the current America? Because
The original America.
The original America, I would say like a sloop, but
Not quite.
because the current ones are
What?
hydrofoil-assisted catamarans.
Yeah. All right. What's your name?
Dave Estrada.
Do you know why we have a coffee shop called America's Cup on campus?
Yeah,
Why is that?
because there was a boat race that somebody in the Stevens family won or something like that, right?
Very good. Do you know why the race, the America's Cup, was named that?
Because it's in America and you win a cup.
Not quite. What's your name?
Abe Edens.
Do you know why we have a coffee shop called America's Cup on campus?
Wasn't there something about a yacht race, something like that?
Do you know what significance that has to Stevens?
The Stevens family had a yacht that won in a yacht race. That's all I know about it. But
That's pretty good. What are your names?
I'm Preston.
Alex?
Do you know why we have a coffee shop called America's Cup on campus?
I do know why. It has to do with the sailing trophy that we won way back when. Pretty sure.
Do you know what significance that has to Stevens?
It was our sailing team, or Stevens, one of the founders, that actually won the first America's Cup. Is that correct?
That's pretty close. Good job. Thank you. What is your name?
Jack?
Do you know why we have a coffee shop called America's Cup on campus?
No.
What are your names?
I'm Tim.
Nick.
Do you know why we have a coffee shop called America's Cup on campus?
No. Not a clue.
Any guess whatsoever?
America's Cup? I don't know, man.
What's your name?
Joe.
Do you know why we have a coffee shop called America's Cup on campus?
To give coffee to students, particularly ones that are studying for tests and stuff.
Not quite. What's your name?
Wesley. Wait, can I give a fake name?
No. Do you know why we have a coffee shop called America's Cup on campus?
Because college students, specifically why it's named America's Cup?
Yeah.
Because we live in America and they serve cups of coffee.
No. Hello, I'm here with Professor Ryan, and we're going to ask him some questions today. Professor Ryan, do you know why we have a coffee shop called the America's Cup at campus?
I thought there was a new line of coffee that from Starbucks that we're calling it the America's Cup, or could it be because maybe at one time we helped design the America Cup races, the yachts in the Davison lab?
Very good. Next question. Why is the event called the America's Cup?
Well, it used to be run off of Rhode Island for many, many years, and I think the first cup, it used to be, I think when England won it the first couple of times, and then America won it, and being Americans, we said it's now our cup, and we said America's Cup.
Partial credit on
Partial
that one.
credit?
Not quite. To fill you in, the America was the yacht that was racing.
Ah, sorry.
Okay.
Got it.
Do you know what type of yachts were racing?
Big yachts, expensive yachts, big white, big sails, colorful sails. Bigger than a laser, bigger than a J20. They were yachts. They were. I mean, we're talking yachts. These were great yachts. How did I do?
Once again, partial credit. Do you know who related to Stevens influenced the America's Cup?
I would think the Stevens family.
Do you know in particular what member of the Stevens family?
Well, they usually give the credit to John, but I think it was the whole family working together. They were sitting around one night having a steak dinner, a little pot pie at the end of it, a little cup of coffee, and that was it. I thought it was the whole family.
Partial credit.
This is like on a circuits test when you don't know the answer, people just write stuff. This is great.
Well, there you have it, right from Professor Ryan. That's what the America's Cup has to do with Stevens. What's your name?
Narav.
Do you know why we have a coffee shop called America's Cup on campus?
Well, let me think. Because it's like patriotic, like America's Cup.
Because it's America.
Yeah, exactly.
No. What's your name?
Nick.
Do you know why we have a coffee shop called America's Cup on campus?
I did know that.
Can you tell us?
That we have it?
Why is it named America's
why it's
Cup?
called America's Cup. America likes coffee.
Not quite. What's your name?
Marco DeJaffic.
Do you know why we have a coffee shop named America's Cup on campus?
I did know that. I go there pretty frequently.
Do you know where the name comes from?
I have no idea.
Any guess?
America?
What's your name?
Mel.
Do you know why we have a coffee shop named America's Cup on campus?
No.
What's your name?
Alex Ross.
Do you know why we have a coffee shop named America's Cup on campus?
Not at all.
Any guess?
Nope.
What's your name?
Mackenzie.
Do you know why we have a coffee shop named America's Cup on campus?
I'm guessing because of the America's Cup.
Do you know what the race the America's Cup was named after?
No.
Okay, you at least got. What's your name?
Eric Del Santo.
Do you know why we are standing in front of a coffee shop named America's Cup that we have on campus?
Because you wanted to interview me?
Why is it called America's Cup?
I don't know.
Any guess?
No.
Why do we have a coffee shop named America's Cup on campus?
It is named after a boat race named the America's Cup.
What is the race the America's Cup named after?
The America's Cup is named after the first yacht that won it, the Yacht America.
What is the significance of the America's Cup to Stevens?
So the builders and the owners of the Yacht America were the founders of Stevens, Edwin A. and his brother John Cox Stevens. John was the Commodore of the New York Yacht Club, and they, together with some other members, designed the Yacht America and took it over to win the race at around the Isle of Wight. And they won by a large margin. I think it was something like 18 minutes. And then after that, the Cup, the America's Cup, was defended in sometimes in Newport, but by the New York Yacht Club for hundreds of years, and it's the oldest trophy in international sport. And it's coming back to the New York Harbor, Manhattan Harbor area. It will be raced right down here in these waters in 2 weekends.
What kind of yacht was the America?
Pretty sure it was a schooner.
Thanks.